Game on.
Okay, you can see right here now is my original Goldstar 3DO. Now, I actually originally owned the Panasonic FZ1 on launch day and bought Crash and Burn and the Panasonic FZ1 for $800, $799 plus tax, of course. But I didn't feel that the system was that good with the one game they released to justify that cost, and I actually returned it. Give a Christmas or two later, and my wife had purchased me the Goldstar 3DO you see here before you. Now, I actually do like the 3DO very much. I do think the games are pretty fun. I know there's a lot of critics to it, but as a stopgap between the older systems and the first generation of 32 bits, the Goldstar 3DO was actually pretty good. But the Goldstars seem to have lots of issues with them. As you can see right here, I'm getting nothing out in audio and visual, and when I put it on channel 3 and use the RF out, I'm simply getting the black lines going around. Now, you can see the power light, which is a red light on the left-hand side, and a solid green light on the CD-ROM side. A lot of people seem to think that the cable mechanism can be the cause. So I did go to Mouser, and I did pick up a cable to replace the one that's in there. Now, over the years, I've had this problem. This thing has probably not been working for at least 10 years, to be quite honest. I went in and I checked the board for any broken traces. I've resoldered on the custom chips to make sure that they didn't lift off the board. I have replaced all the caps inside here, and sometimes it works, it decides to work, sometimes it just doesn't. I get what you're basically seeing here. So I'm going to try right now just replacing out this cable. Again, it cost me like $4. I'm like, why not? If it works, fantastic. I can bring my Goldstar 3DO back to life. If not, $4, it was worth a try. So I'm going to open this thing up and I'm going to put this in and see if it makes any difference. I don't really have any big hopes. I thought the machine would at least boot to the logo, and the drive would give the green light, and I would try that. But hey, let's see what happens. Let's give it a shot. Okay, getting inside here is not too difficult. I'm just going to turn this thing upside down, like so, carefully. I'm actually take these plugs off here. We don't need these plugged in right now. Get these all out of the way. So we just have a couple screws you need to take out. Now this is the expansion cover for the, back then you had to get an MPEG-1 card to play MPEG-1 movies. But we're just going to take out the screws on the sides here and try and open it up as best we can. So we'll get these screws out of here. Now this machine has been opened up so many times that a lot of the, I think the screwdriver is too big. Let me get a smaller screwdriver. Okay, as I was saying, I've opened this thing up so many times trying to repair this thing that a lot of the connectors that these screws go into, the plastic connectors, the posts, have kind of broken and disintegrated, which kind of sucks. But again, I don't have a lot of hope that I'm going to be able to revive this. Now you can emulate the 3DO now, of course, on Raspberry Pi and systems like that, but it's still not the same. They had a really interesting controller. It was a 9-pin connector, but each controller plugged into the next consecutive controller, and the headphone out on them was on the controller as well. Now I will say that none of the Panasonic first-party controllers were especially good in any way, shape, or form. The D-pads were kind of stiff. The buttons, I guess, responded well enough, but the actual D-pads were not very good. So in any case, just going to open this thing up. And it's a real disappointment, when you have these machines here, these optical drive machines. Oh, come on, screw. And they kind of like falter. But again, the Goldstar is known to be kind of crappy with its longevity. The FZ1 and FZ10 from Panasonic seem to fare a lot better. So once we do that, we get those 4 screws out. Next thing we have to worry about is this tray here. So I'm actually going to have to turn this thing on and eject the mechanism if I can. Let me get these screws again out of the way. Don't want them to get damaged in any way, shape, or form. So I should be able to press this, get the tray to come out, and it does. And I should be able to simply pry this open, more or less here. I think I got all the screws, just the 4. Maybe I did miss a screw. I'm going to check and close this thing back open here. And let me check, there wasn't any screws here. Now there is no screws, just the 1, 2, 3, 4. And I hear something rattling in here, which is probably some of the old posts that did, unfortunately, like I say, disintegrate in here. This thing's been opened so many times trying to fix it. Okay, I'll do that. Let me power this thing off. Let me try and get this open one more time. Again, we don't want to break anything, obviously. But we do need to kind of finagle it as best we can without breaking it. There are a couple of little pegs on this side we just kind of get around. Yeah, this thing is a bit of a pain. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to lift this up and forward very carefully and try and get this thing off of here. Again, it's not the best design. We'll just take our time. Sometimes you push this in a little bit. It'll help. Here we go. And then we're just going to carefully take this off. We got the top cover off. And we'll put it back over here because why not? So you can see inside the unit itself here, there's actually not a lot going on inside the 3DO in the Goldstar version. So we're going to take a screw here to take off this plate. It's an RF plate. So what do you guys think while I'm still doing this? You think this thing's going to get revived with this cable? I am not so sure, but maybe it can't communicate to the optical drive and that's why it's kind of staying on a black screen, which is possible. Okay, I'm just going to pull this thing off, get it out of the way, and this is potentially the cable in question, this one right here. People say this cable goes bad and that's why the machine doesn't boot up. So I went and bought this cable here from Mouser Electronics. I'll post the information in case it doesn't bring this back to life. But it is a ribbon cable, and they say the opening and closing eventually does kind of wear out and destroy the cable. So here's the replacement cable right here. So all I'm going to do is carefully, again there's a lot of wires going across here. I'm going to remove the main board here. This thing is turned off. Double check. Remove this board here. If I got the right screwdriver, it might be too big. Let's see. I think this one is too big. So once again, let me get a smaller screwdriver. Okay, see if we get this off here now. There we go. Again, just taking our time, being careful. It's not like this thing is working anyway. But we definitely don't want to make it worse if we can avoid that. There was a time, like I said, where this thing would at least boot up to the Goldstar logo, but now it's not even doing that, so it could be something more going on in here. Now again, I did replace all the capacitors on here, because I figured maybe I'd give that a try. But that was maybe done 8 years ago. New caps. Okay, so this should be able to lift up. Now there's actually cables back here and a cable here, so I'm going to see if I disconnect this first. This is a ZIF socket on this side, so I'm just going to try and carefully get this one off. And you know what? I'm going to need something else to help me out get that open there. Here's a little pair of like needle nose tweezers here, just to pull this thing open. And then this cable should just really, oh, it's got a screw holding it down. Okay, so we'll take this screw out here. Always something. Okay, there's a screw holding in the ribbon cable there. Come on, you. Now this should allow me to pull the cable through, and it did. Okay, now I gotta somehow turn this over, do the same thing on this side, so I'm just gonna press these down. Okay, and the cable goes in with the white side facing out. Now the cable itself looks okay, doesn't mean it's not broken, but we're gonna take this cable out, and I'm gonna put this cable in the exact same way. So I'll start with this side here. Press it in, not too much force. Hold it in place and close the ZIF connector on it, like so. Again, these cables are here look okay. Now I'm going to have to finagle this a little bit more. Come on, you. Under here, but I gotta get it up. This is, I probably should have went and put it in the other way, and then I'm thinking about it. I probably should have went this way versus this way, but let me see if I can finagle this. Maybe I can. You live and learn, folks. I think I may have gotten it. I did. Okay. Now I'm just going to work this cable into its connector carefully. Taking my time, okay. I think I have that pressed in well enough. I'm going to lock this in place. Try to anyway. Just try not to break anything as I do it. Okay. Okay, that connector's in. I'm just going to put down this screw to hold this cable down. Again, I don't have high hopes this is going to fix anything, but I figure $4, why not give it a try? Just put some tension on the cable so it doesn't get, pulled out when the door opens. Okay. And these cables all look good. Back here, these don't move, so I don't see why they would fail. So we're going to put these screws back in. If this works, it's going to blow my mind. I think this may just be kaputsk. And this is a shame. Again, it can be emulated, but it's always nice to have the original hardware working again. So I'm going to tighten these screws down fairly good. Okay. So I'm going to put this TV back on AV4. Like that. Now I need to get this cable here and plug in this to the RF. I'm not using anything else but RF right now. Alright, I'm going to close the door a little bit here. See, that cable seems to go okay, and let's just turn it on. And I see the laser trying to move up and down, so it's communicating to the laser, but I still have the solid access light. And I don't have any screen up here whatsoever. You know what? Because I'm on AV4, I should be on channel 3. So that was my bad there. But no, it still doesn't make any difference. I think this 3DO might just be DOA, unfortunately. The CD does, the laser goes up and down, so that's all communicating. But as you can see right here, I think my 3DO is finally just sadly not working anymore, and that's a shame. That's a real shame. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Just I gave it a try. If anyone knows what causes this, please hit me on a message down below. It'd be interesting to see if anyone even fixes these anymore. I can't find anyone who does it. But I've pretty much given up on this poor little guy. I was just hoping that maybe this cable had gone bad, and that was the cause of the problem, but it doesn't appear to be the case. I think this 3DO is just seeing its days, but it's weird because this part works. I mean, it gets power, it recognizes the CD. I'm going to put actually a disc in. I don't know if it's going to even try and spin it. I have no idea. But let's see. I happen to have Starfighter here. I'm going to put this right in. Like that. Let's just close it up. Let's see what happens. It does spin the disc. But that's it. The light went out. And I think it's just spinning it blindly. Turning it off and back on. Unfortunately, guys, I have no idea anymore. I've tried about everything I could try on this guy. So I'm just going to seal him back up and I guess just leave it on the shelf to be looked at. But if you guys have any idea, please let me know. If you did like the video, and unfortunately my sad turnout here where this is not working, please give it a thumbs up. It does help out the channel, and I appreciate it. You guys, listen, these things are fun, all frustrating, but no matter what you do, make sure you tell your family and friends that you love them. These things may not work every day, but your family and friends are around, so let them know that you love them. But in any case, I can't game out on this one anymore, but the 3DO lives on through emulation.
Are you looking for that arcade experience at home? If you don't have the space for a full-size arcade in your house or endless funds, then you need the GRS Build-A-Cade. It's arcade quality without the arcade price, from someone you can trust. The GRS Build-A-Cade is a very simple, easy to assemble 1/6 scale arcade computer you can build yourself. You can buy interchangeable controllers for every gaming option you need to play the games the way they're meant to be played. You can also design your own artwork or purchase artwork separately to make your GRS Build-A-Cade look like the machine of your dreams. The GRS Build-A-Cade is also the only home system STEM certified. Come see what all the YouTube creators are raving about. GRS Build-A-Cade.
Game on.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.